Now, built as a bomber station during the Second World War, RAF Leeming is in its 70th year. It has changed roles several times, but since its squadron of F-3 Tornadoes was disbanded 2 years ago, many thought the base had closed for good.
That couldn't be further from the truth. It's now used for a huge range of training and support roles. And our reporter Lee Cumley has been given an exclusive look behind the scenes at what they do. And in the first of 3 parts, we meet the unsung heroes of the RAF.
It might be 70, but it shows no sign of slowing down in its old age. It's a constant hive of activity, training and developing personnel for deployment in conflict zones around the world. Housing over 2,000 personnel, on average around 15% of RAF Leeming is deployed at any time. At the end of last year, this was as high as 30%. It's busier than ever. Built for one purpose during the Second World War, the base's role has changed several times over the years. There's over 20 of these hangars dotted around RAF Leeming, all built to withstand a nuclear explosion, and all of them used to contain Tornado F-3 fighters, but now they're all used for very different things. And in this hangar, one of the less glamorous jobs, but it's certainly a very important one. 90 Signals Unit provide communication support, building that IT infrastructure that allows everyone else to do their jobs. That often means starting from scratch.
Right, we have to provide everything from telephone communications to satellite communications. It's able to pass information from anywhere around the world back to the UK, and that is partly the global nature of the air support mission that we are there to provide. Whereas the Army tends to focus very much on a ground-based camp, the air support mission is more global than that. So we look beyond Helmand, beyond Afghanistan, out to a truly global picture with comms back to the UK and also to the States as well.
On the other side of the base, we see one of the uses for that tech. Forward air controllers are the eyes and ears on the ground for those in the sky, working with GPS technology to pinpoint targets and gather intelligence. In this exercise, the Land Rover contains members of the Taliban planting roadside bombs. The air controller plots the coordinates and calls in the jet that's circling overhead.
For being essentially your eyes and ears on the ground, so trying to be one step ahead of anybody who's well, any enemy essentially who's trying to have an effect on you. It's reassuring for the blokes to know that they've got that air cover up there, because obviously the ground is very much not enough over. We don't know the ground as well as the enemy.
First, what's called a show of force. It's low flying, designed to scare off the enemy. Normally, it works. If it doesn't, only then will they resort to firing, or using what's called kinetic force.
Only go kinetic, so use firepower in extreme circumstances, and they will do everything to avoid collateral damage, so to avoid fratricide, to avoid incidents with civilian casualties, and with all the collateral building.
And that rather ominous-looking black jet in the sky, well, that's one of the Hawk jets used by 100 Squadron. Tomorrow we'll be taking a look at the range of roles they have here, and the complicated job that air traffic control has to keep everything running smoothly.